Okay, so let's start with our next this thing today lecture, methods of preparation of aldehydes only. So हम लोगों ने पिछले वाले में क्या किया था? General methods of preparation of both aldehydes and ketones. Today we will do methods of preparation of only aldehydes. There are certain methods by which only aldehydes can be prepared, and we will do certain methods of preparation of only ketones. So let's see over here, when we're talking of methods of preparation of aldehydes only, the first one which we are going to do, that is going to be from acid chlorides. From acid chlorides. Now this reaction, that is a main reaction, and the reaction that is known as Rosenmund reduction. An important reaction from your examination point of view, Rosenmund reduction. Over here we reduce the acid chloride. So what is going to be acid chloride? It is going to be RC++OCl. This is what acid chloride is. We are going to reduce the acid chloride by using a catalyst. We are using palladium in barium sulfate, right? Now over here we are going to get the respective aldehyde. So we have RC++OH plus HCl. Okay? So this is going to be the reaction over here. Now the catalytic mixture is palladium and barium sulfate. This catalytic mixture is poisoned, right? This is going to be poisoned by addition of either small amount of sulfur or small amount of quinoline. Now why do we have to poison it? The reason behind poisoning the catalyst is that if you are using the catalyst over here as palladium and barium sulfate, the aldehyde which is formed over here, that has a tendency to get further reduced to alcohol. Okay. Now in order to prevent its reduction to alcohol further, we need to poison the catalyst which is present over here. Okay. Now let's take an example. We are taking over here. We're taking over here ethanol chloride, right? Ethanol chloride plus hydrogen in presence of palladium and barium sulfate. This is going to give us ethanol, CH3CHO. That is going to be the main product. If we are taking benzoyl chloride, benzoyl chloride is this COCl on the benzene group. This is going to get converted to, again we are taking it in presence of palladium and barium sulfate, and we are going to get over here CHO and HCl. So we are going to form benzaldehyde by taking benzoyl chloride. Formaldehyde that cannot be prepared by this method, right? Because of the instability of the formal chloride. So we're taking formal chloride over here, formal chloride that is going to be CO and H. This is going to be unstable. Because this is unstable, therefore this cannot be used for the preparation of formaldehyde. Okay? Now as I just told you, what is going to be the function of the poisoning of the catalyst? The aldehydes formed, they are going to be further converted into alcohols by the further reduction. So in order to prevent the aldehydes to be converted into alcohols, we are going to poison this catalyst, and generally we poison the catalyst by either using sulfur or we are going to use quinoline. ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद if we are taking, we can take other reducing agents also. For example, we can take lithium, aluminium hydride. This is one of the reducing agents which we can do. But if you're talking of Rosenmund reduction is only when we are taking the reducing agents as palladium and barium sulfate. But in order to reduce the chlorides into aldehydes, we can take lithium aluminium hydride. We can also take lithium aluminium tertiary butoxide or we can take tri-tertiary butoxy-aluminium hydride, right? So these are the reducing agents. The next one which we can take is tri-tertiary butoxy-aluminium hydride. Aluminium hydride. So this is another one which we can use over here. This is the first method of preparation. The second is from reduction of alkyl cyanides. Second method which we are going to do over here, that is from reduction of alkyl cyanides or nitriles, right? So this is generally, this is again a name reaction. It is known as Stephan reduction. Okay, now how we are going to bring about this reaction? We have CH3C triple bond N. In this case, reduction is carried out by nascent hydrogen in the presence of stannous chloride, SnCl2 and HCl. Okay. Now this is going to give us aldehyde. Aldehyde is CH3CH double bond NH. This is known as aldehyde. Then on hydrolysis, acid hydrolysis of aldehyde, we are going to get the respective aldehyde plus ammonia. Okay, so we will get the respective aldehyde, that is CH3CHO, plus we are going to get ammonia over here. This is known as Stephan reduction. Other reducing agents which we can use over here, that can be Dibble. Dibble is diisobutyl aluminium hydride. Diisobutyl aluminium hydride. Okay. So over here, if we are using Dibble, the main advantage of using Dibble is that if there is a double bond which is going to be present in the chain, that double bond is not going to be affected. For example, if we have over here CH3CH double bond CH2CN. If this is the compound which we have, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pent 3-ene nitrile. Okay, so over here, if we are using, in the first step, we are using the reducing agent as Dibble. Okay, and second, we are going to hydrolyze the reaction in presence of an acid. It is seen that this double bond that is not going to be affected. It is going to be only the nitrile group which is going to be getting converted into the aldehyde group. So we have over here CH3CH double bond CH, CH2 and CHO. Okay? So double bond that is not going to be affected if you are using Dibble as the reducing agent. So this is Stephan reduction. Now then the third one which we are going to do, that is from hydrocarbons. That is going to be from hydrocarbons. In case of hydrocarbons, oxidation of methyl benzene can be done by alkaline KMnO4. So if we have over here CH3, we are taking toluene in presence of alkaline KMnO4. This is going to give us benzaldehyde, CHO. Okay, further oxidation of this that can produce an acid. So further oxidation of this, that can give us benzoic acid, COOH. Right? Now over here, if we want to stop the oxidation at the CHO method or the CHO part, and we do not want the acid to be produced, we can do so by the following methods. In order to stop the reaction at the aldehydic point, what can we do? The first method which we can apply over here is that we can use chromic oxide. We can use chromic oxide in acetic anhydride. So this is a reagent. This is the reagent which we can use, right? So when we are using this reagent, let's see what happens to the reaction. We are again taking toluene over here and we are reacting this with chromium trioxide in presence of acetic anhydride, right? The temperature which is going to be maintained over here is approximately 273 to 283 Kelvin, and this is going to give us an intermediate of the type two of the hydrogens that is going to be substituted by the acetyl group. Now this is highly reactive towards water. So if we are doing the hydrolysis in presence of an acid, this is going to give us benzaldehyde, right? And plus acetic acid. Now over here, this reaction does not go further from benzaldehyde to the acid, right? Now why this is happening? In this case, it is seen that trapping of aldehydic group that is done by making this gem diacetate over here. Because this gem diacetate is formed over here, this cannot be easily oxidized further to carboxylic acid. So we are trapping the CHO group over here, the benzaldehydic group over here, by placing these diacetate ions. Okay? So this is what we can do, which cannot be further oxidized. Another method is use of chromide fluoride. The second method which we are going to do, second method which we have, that is chromide fluoride. Now this reaction is again a name reaction, a very, very important reaction. It is known as Itard reaction. Okay, this is again a very important reaction from your examination point of view. Over here we are going to use chromide fluoride. Chromide fluoride is CrO2Cl2. So we are taking again toluene over here. Reacting it with CrO2Cl2, right? The reaction that is going to take place in presence of carbon disulfide. Again, it will be seen that two of the hydrogens over here, they are going to be substituted to give us an unstable intermediate. So we have over here CH and two hydrogens which are present, they are going to be substituted by the OCrCl2OH whole twice. Right? So this is what the substitution is going to take place. This is a complex which has a brown color. Okay. Now this complex which is formed, that is going to be hydrolyzed further in presence of an acid to give us benzaldehyde, which is CHO. Okay, so this reaction is important. It is the Itard reaction. Now, if in case we have a longer chain over here, longer chain means that we have two carbon atoms which are present on the benzene ring. This in presence of chromide fluoride, and we are taking a solvent, inert solvent over here, which is CCl4. This is going to give us 2-phenyl ethanol. It is the terminal carbon atom which is going to be converted into the respective aldehyde. So कितनी भी लंबी यहाँ पे चेन होती रहेगी, it is always going to be the terminal carbon atom which is converted to CHO. ठीक है? Is it clear? So this is the reaction. Then we have the third reaction by side chain chlorination followed by hydrolysis. So we've done two methods to stop the reaction at CHO. The third method which we are going to discuss now. What is this third method? It is the side chain chlorination by side chain chlorination followed by hydrolysis. Right? So we have over here toluene. We are going to do the side chain chlorination. Side chain chlorination will be taken care of in presence of light. When we are going to have over here gem dihalide CHCl2. This is going to be gem dihalide. When hydrolysis of this is done at a temperature of 373 Kelvin, both the chlorines they are going to be substituted by the OH group. And we already know that the gem dihalides, alcohols, they are going to be unstable. They will immediately lose a water molecule to give us the respective aldehyde. Okay? Then the fourth method over here, that is by Getterman-Koch reaction. Fourth reaction which we are going to do again, this is a very important one reaction which we had done was the Getterman reaction. This is the Getterman-Koch reaction. Do not get confused in both. Getterman reaction that was used for the preparation of haloarenes, and Getterman-Koch that is going to be used for the preparation of aldehydes. Okay? So we have the next reaction over here. That is the Getterman reaction. In this case, we are going to react benzene with carbon monoxide in presence of HCl, anhydrous AlCl3 and Cu2Cl2 is the catalyst which we are using. Give us CHO. Okay, so this is what the Getterman reaction is. The next method of preparation which we are going to do over here, the fourth method of preparation, that is from hydrocyanic acid. From hydrocyanic acid. Now, hydrocyanic acid is reacted with Grignard reagent, and remember that over here the number of carbon atoms which are going to be present in the aldehyde will depend upon the number of carbon atoms which are present in the Grignard reagent. The reason behind that is that the hydrocyanic acid is going to have only one carbon, because if you're looking at the structure of hydrocyanic acid, this is going to be the structure. Okay, so this has only one carbon atom. If you're taking a Grignard reagent, CH3MgBr, and this reaction that is taking place in presence of dry ether. Okay, so यहाँ पे that same rule is going to be followed, that MgBr over here is going to be positive, CH3 is going to be slightly negative. Over here, nitrogen being more electronegative, It is going to disperse the pi electron clouds towards itself, getting a slight negative charge, and carbon that is going to get a slight positive charge, such that the alkyl group that will go and attack at the carbon atom. So what do we have over here now? We have HC double bond N CH3 MgBr. Okay, now when we are going to do the hydrolysis of this, it is going to give us what? CH3CHO. If you're doing the hydrolysis of this further, it is going to give us HCCH3 double bond O, CH3CHO, plus it is going to give us ammonia, and plus it will give us MgBr and OH. Okay, so this is what we have over here, the reaction with HCN. Why I am saying that the number of carbon atoms present in the aldehyde, that will depend upon the Grignard reagent, because HCN that is going to have only one carbon atom. So the number of carbon atoms which are going to be present in the Grignard reagent, that will give us the same number of carbon atoms plus 1, which is going to be present in the final compound. Okay? Then the fifth reaction we have already done in our alcohols, which is the Reiner-Tannenbaum reaction. The fifth reaction is Reiner-Tannenbaum reaction. Now over here we've already done this reaction. We do the reaction of phenol with chloroform CHCl3 in presence of NaOH, where we are going to get ONa and CHO, and this on reacting with an acid is going to give us salicylic. OH and CHO, which is going to be salicylic. We have done the detail of this chapter, of this reaction in our previous chapter. Okay? Now these were the methods, so these are the 5 methods of preparation of aldehydes only. Let's go on to methods of preparation of ketones only. Okay, so let's go on to the methods of preparation of ketones. By these methods of preparation, we will only be able to prepare the ketones. Okay? So let's go on to the first one. The first one is from acyl chlorides. From acyl chlorides. Over here we are going to react the acyl chlorides with dialkyl cadmium. With dialkyl cadmium. Now how we are going to prepare dialkyl cadmium? We are going to take Grignard reagent and react it with cadmium chloride, when we will get diethyl cadmium plus MgBrCl. Okay, so this dialkyl cadmium is now going to react with the acyl chlorides. This is acyl chloride. We are having dialkyl cadmium. Okay, this is going to give us plus CdCl2. Okay, so this is what we are getting. Now this CdCl2 which is formed over here, that can be again used in the first step to form more dialkyl cadmium. Now if you are taking a aromatic compound over here, benzoyl chloride we are taking, COCl, We are reacting this with dimethyl cadmium. We are going to get over here 2 molecules of acetophenone. 2 molecules of acetophenone, and we will get CbCl2. Now these reactions, they are also going to take place in presence of dry ether. Okay, now this reaction can be carried out in presence of Grignard reagent also, because if you're taking directly CH3COCl and you're reacting with 2CH3MgBr, this is the product which we are going to get. But why are we not using Grignard reagent over here? Why we are first converting Grignard reagent into the dimethyl cadmium and then reacting it? The reason behind that is that the ketone which is going to be formed over here, that has a tendency to react with Grignard reagent, and as a result of which what will happen, we are going to get कौन सा कंपाउंड बनता है हमारे पास, we are going to get the secondary alcohol. Okay, so that is the reason why we are not using Grignard reagent, because the ketone which is formed over here in this reaction, this is the ketone which is going to be formed. So if we are reacting this with CH3MgBr, you know what the process is. We've already done this, methods of preparation of alcohols. So CH3 will attack here and we are going to get over here a tertiary alcohol. So that is the reason why this reaction that is not used, why Grignard reagent that is not reacted with acyl chlorides to get the respective ketones. Okay, because the ketones have further tendency to react with Grignard reagent and give us the tertiary alcohol. Then the second method which we are going to do over here is from nitriles. Okay, now nitriles ke saath again we are going to react the Grignard reagent. Now over here we are going to take nitriles. Nitrile means that it already has an alkyl group, although the process is going to be same as we were reacting it with HCl. So we have CH3 C triple bond N plus CH3MgBr. CH3 will attack at the carbon, MgBr will attack at the nitrogen. So what are we going to have over here? We will have CH3 C, CH3 double bond NMgBr. Okay? Now this is going to be hydrolyzed when we are going to get a ketone plus ammonia plus MgBr and OH. Okay? So this is going to be the reaction over here. If you're taking phenyl magnesium bromide, phenyl magnesium bromide is C6H5 MgBr. This is phenyl magnesium bromide, and we are reacting it with CH3 CH2 C triple bond N. Okay, the mechanism is going to be same. C6H5 will go and attack at the carbon and MgBr will go and attack at the nitrogen, such that the product which we are going to have, that is going to be CH3 CH2 C C6H5 double bond N MgBr. Okay, and this is going to give us a ketone again. We have on hydrolysis. What are we going to get? We will get C double bond O, CH2, CH3, C6H5, and plus we will get ammonia, and plus we will get MgBr and OH. Okay, so that is going to be, if you're looking at the IUPAC name of this, 1, 2, 3, 1-phenyl propanone. Okay, that is going to be the product over here, 1-phenyl propanone. Then the third method which we are going to do, that is from benzene or substituted benzene by Friedel-Crafts reactions. The third reaction which we have, that is from benzene or substituted benzene by Friedel-Crafts reaction. Now over here we are going to do the acetylation of benzene, Friedel-Crafts acetylation, where we will introduce an acetyl group. So we have taken benzene plus acetyl chloride, which is CH3COCl. Reaction takes place in presence of anhydrous AlCl3 to give us acetophenone, COCH3. In a similar manner, if we are taking over here C6H5COCl, so we can do the benzoylation. Again, the reaction will take place in presence of anhydrous AlCl3 to give us benzophenone. This is going to be benzophenone. Now basically this is going to be an electrophilic substitution reactions, and what is going to be the mechanism over here? If we are taking an acetyl group, reacting it with AlCl3, this is the halogen carrier. This has a tendency to extract the chlorine from here such as to give us positive plus AlCl4 negative. It is this electrophile which will then go and attack at the benzene ring to give us acetophenone. Okay? So this is the procedure which is generally done over here. This is an example of electrophilic substitution reaction. If we want to form benzophenone, for that we have to take 2 molecules of benzene plus over here we will take phosgene, COCl. Okay, and plus we will take another molecule of benzene such that we will get benzophenone. This is benzophenone and plus 2 HCl. Plus 2 HCl. Okay, so this is how we can form benzophenone. Then the last reaction which we are going to do, that is from Grignard reagent. The last reaction which we are going to do over here, that is from Grignard reagent. We are going to take over here cyanobenzene. Okay, or benzene nitrile also it is known as. This is going to react with Grignard reagent. The same mechanism is going to be followed. CH3 will go and attack at the carbon atom and NGBr will attack at the nitrogen atom, such that we get an addition product over here. And when we are doing the hydrolysis of this, we are going to get acetophenone. Okay? Plus we will get Br and OH. Right? So these are the methods of preparation of aldehydes only and methods of preparation of ketones. जो हमने एल्डिहाइड्स के मेथड्स ऑफ प्रिपरेशन करे हैं उससे we will not be able to form the ketones, और जो हमने ketones के मेथड्स ऑफ प्रिपरेशन करे हैं उससे we will not be able to find the aldehydes or form the aldehydes. Okay, then next let's go on to the physical properties of aldehydes and ketones. Next we have is physical properties of aldehydes and ketones. Both we are going to discuss simultaneously. When we talking of physical properties of aldehydes and ketones, it is seen that the lower member, the lowest member, which is methanol, that is going to be a pungent smelling gas. ठीक है, it is going to be a pungent smelling gas. Ethanol, that is going to be a volatile liquid, and ketones containing up to 11 carbon atoms, they are going to be colorless liquids. So all the ketones up to 11 carbon atoms they are going to be colorless liquids. They are going to be colorless liquids. ठीक है? Then it is seen that generally aldehydes and ketones, they have a pleasant smell. Mostly the aldehydes and ketones, they have a pleasant smell, and with increase in molecular masses, as you've seen over here that only one carbon atom that is going to have a pungent smell. But as the number of carbon atoms will keep on increasing, the pungent smell will keep on decreasing and the pleasant smell that will keep on increasing. This is the reason why generally the aldehydes and ketones, they are used in perfumery industry. Okay, and they are also going to be used in all these fragrances which are given in the food industry. For example, we have vanilla, all the essence which we have, the different flavors which we have in the food industry, that all are going to contain aldehydes and ketones. Okay, like you know what dalchini is, I have already told you, cinnamaldehyde. Okay, that is found in cinnamon. Similarly, we have rose का जो खुशबू आता है, that also has rosanilin. That is one of the aldehydes which is going to be present over there. Okay. फिर उसके बाद aldehydes and ketones up to 4 carbon atoms. Aldehydes and ketones up to 4 carbon atoms, they are going to be miscible in water. That is because of formation of hydrogen bond. They are going to be miscible in water due to formation of hydrogen bonds. As the number of carbon atoms will keep on increasing, then the miscibility will keep on decreasing because of increase in the non-polar part, and they are not able to form hydrogen bonds effectively. Okay, so as the molecular mass will increase, the miscibility in water that will keep on decreasing. When we talking of boiling points, of aldehydes and ketones, they are higher than non-polar solvents, non-polar compounds, you can say. They are going to be higher than non-polar compounds. Now, in case of aldehydes and ketones, the more prominent forces of attraction which are going to be present is going to be the dipole-dipole interactions rather than hydrogen bonding. But because of the dipole-dipole interaction also, they have a net dipole, because of which they exist as dipolar molecules. So they have higher boiling points than the non-polar compounds. But they are going to have lower boiling points than alcohols and which is going to be more effective. Now, it is also seen that the ketones, they have higher boiling points. Ketones have higher boiling points than aldehydes because of higher dipole moment of net dipole moment of ketones. So if you're looking at propanol and we're looking at propanone, propanol that has a dipole moment of 2.52, whereas propanone has a dipole moment of 2.88. So propanone has a higher boiling point with respect to propanol. Now why this is happening? That is because of presence of two electron releasing alkyl groups. So if you're looking at the structure of ketone over here, okay, it has two alkyl groups due to which, electron releasing alkyl groups due to which it is going to release the electrons on the carbon. And this is going to increase the polarity and also it will increase the dipole moment. Okay, so these are the physical properties. Today we will do only till here. The chemical properties we will discuss in our next lecture.